Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes or totally brand new thing. If you don't want to say anything and you don't want to type in chat, that's okay. You can just hang out and be a lurker. Lurkers are cool with me. Harold is here. Ghost Valve is here. Welcome to both of you on this fine Thursday. Ghost Valve, also, we should throw the emotes in for Ghost Valve, renewing their subscription for 28 months, saying almost a year, which is, of course, inaccurate numbers. How do they work? But thank you very much. Let's throw the emotes in there for Ghost Valve. Thank you for renewing your subscription. Appreciate you very much. Lashbrook, hello and welcome. Welcome to the old Build with Baer Workshop. Tonight, I've barely started the Gundam Lfrith Thorn. I just got the head done. Sorry, the autofocus is going to hate that. But I just got the head done. So we're going to continue to work on start working on the chest here. Keep working on this kit. So we got to get in on that fine action. We'll do that. What else we got on the agenda for the evening? Well, we'll work on the kit, obviously, throughout. But we'll talk about some stuff. Talk about some wrestling. Talk about some video game stuff. Lord Crash says, hey, Pat, it's finally cooled down a bit here before we get another week of upper 80s and low 90s next week. Yes, weather update for your friend Pat. It is currently the coolest it's been since mid-June. And so much so that my mother decided that tonight we would turn the air conditioning off. So I'm back to sweating in my room under all of these lights for streaming purposes. 2 hours of sweating, and then the door opens. You getting any hurricane remnants? No, Lord Crashton. Last night yesterday into the evening, started during the day, started earlier. We got a lot of rain. Rain came through. And then we got some wind overnight. Did not lose power. We were prepared for that. That inevitability, that did not happen. So we lucked out. Other parts of this state did see some poor weather, and there were about 40,000 homes that lost power instead of 200,000, which is what they were estimating for the state of South Carolina. So all in all, pretty good. Again, we didn't run into issues. I slept well. And then today I went and picked up branches in the backyard because some branches shook loose, and that was about the extent of our issues. But yeah, it cooled down, but then the air conditioning is off, and so I got the window open, and I'm sweating, and that's not great. That I don't enjoy that personally. Some people like the sweat. I'm not a big fan myself. All right, I'm going to retweet my tweet over on Twitter. See if maybe we can get a few more friends to join us tonight, because it would be nice. It's always nice with friends. But let's go to the overhead. Boop. There we go. You can see we got the head done. We'll put the head up here. Pop that up there. And now we're going to work on the chest. This is a Witch from Mercury kit, so there are no polycaps. There are just plastic pieces that basically act like polycaps. There's also a lot of stickers, because this is the Lfrith with a bunch of junk put on it. And I know what some of you are thinking. Some of you are thinking, Pat, didn't you pre-order an Lfrith that's coming like next month? And the answer to that question is yes, I did. I did pre-order that. And it is coming next month. And when it arrives, we'll build it at some point, you know. And it's fine because the Lfrith is cool. And the Lfrith Thorn looks very different from the other Lfrith, whose name I don't know how to pronounce yet, because I haven't heard anyone try that I know of. The Lfrith Jui. Ju? Author Ju? I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. We'll see what people are saying once that kit starts hitting reviewers and all of that. All right, so we'll pop that out. We're going to pop these out. Let's start tonight talking about Elon Musk. Because, so this is possibly directly related to Elon, possibly only directly related to his company, Tesla. It's been a totally normal week once again, yes. So, Tesla is under federal investigation by the Department of Justice and the SEC for possibly them using public fund or the public funds, company funds for a private individual. In this case, of course, Elon Musk, because Project 42 has been in development for a while, and they were like, "Hey, isn't Project 42 just a fucking house for Elon Musk to live in near the Tesla headquarters? Because why are you building this weird glass building that also has a bed, at least one bedroom in it?" And if you're thinking, Pat, is Elon Musk, is he trying to build a glass house? Yeah, it does seem like he's trying to build a glass house. And he's trying to get Tesla to pay for it so that he can hang out in his glass house. I don't know. It don't make no sense. It don't make any sense. It's a weird thing. Why doesn't this seem like... Okay, no. Oh, it's got to go like that. Okay. Sorry. This piece didn't fit right, and there was a reason for it. And I have figured out the reason. I wasn't doing it properly. Hasn't he bragged about living in a retrofitted storage containers? I'm sure he has. So the SEC is investigating whether product involves using company funds for his personal benefit. This is all from the Wall Street Journal, originally investigated. I am reading a summary article from Business Insider. So, just kind of taking a look there. Federal prosecutors are investigating whether Tesla used its own funds for his personal use. And how much they spent on the initiative, as well as also as its purpose, which I also like. He shouldn't throw stones at, indeed. He heard about people comparing him to Dude in the Glass Onion and thought it was a compliment. Yeah, perhaps. My assumption is he just wants a big, dumb building, and that was the dumbest idea for a building he could think of. But he was adamant about living in a big, dumb place, or at least having a bedroom in a big, dumb place. I just assume. Securities and Exchange Commission, I said, early stages, and they don't comment, so neither is going to say anything about it, and of course nobody else is going to say anything. But I'm sorry. So he didn't immediately respond for a request when asked by the Wall Street Journal or Business Insider or anyone else, but he did tweet, "I'm not building a house of any kind, let alone a glass one." So he's not building a house. Now, if Tesla builds a house and he just so happens to live in that house, well, that's a different thing. It's not, but I also like that most publications, not all, but most publications go, the billionaire appeared to deny a project involved building a house on X, the social media formerly known as Twitter. First off, I love any publication that still calls it Twitter, and I love anyone that's just like, hey, this was what Twitter used to be called. So we're just going to say that because maybe you don't know. And I appreciate that very much. You got to clarify. Got to keep people knowing what's, keep them in the loop. So anyway, that's in the preliminary stages of investigation. My assumption is they will attempt to cover up and fail because they don't know what they're doing. But inevitably, it will not lead to much at all. It may lead to Tesla shareholders being pissed off, which is, one, nothing new, and two, good. Get pissed off like you should be. You should have been pissed off for a very long time about the state of this company. The Journal reported in July that the project involved plans for a glass building that would be set up near Tesla's Gigafactory in Austin, Texas, and internally understood to be a house for the CEO. So internally they were like, we're building this thing for Musk to live in when he wants to visit and be here. The project appeared to be for a dramatic glass-walled building, and concept plans shown different designs and features, but included residential elements like bedrooms, according to the report. So it wasn't just like, oh, we're building a cool showcase floor or a cool plate. We needed a place to keep all the cool cyber trucks. It's like, no, you're building a weird building that also Musk can live in with company funds, and that's not good. And they trying to order this special kind of glass, and that tripped a bunch of alarms internationally. And then, and it is of course a public traded company, so it's not clear if the project is still in the works or whether the glass was delivered. But they did. Yeah, basically they tried to order this special glass from internationally, and that tripped a bunch of red flags where people were like, "Hey, wait, what? What's going on with this anyway?" So getting wild and weird. This is a piece that goes like this. Great. Getting this jigsaw puzzle together here. I mentioned this on social media sites of my own here. On my own, I should say. That this kit, the Thorn, looks like it has a shoddy, poorly done flight mode that you struggle to transform it, and it kind of looks right, but it's not perfect. It looks like it has that based on the armor placement and the backpack elements and the shield. It doesn't have that, which is kind of fun. It just is a kit. It doesn't have a shoddy transformation or a good transformation either, but it doesn't have a bad one. It does have a lot of stickers, which we're going to apply here. With 8 and 9. We're applying some stickers here to the chest piece here. 8 and 9. We're going to add a little black to make this look cool. We could just do this with marker, but we got the stickers, and why not? They're not that tiny. They're not the tiny head stickers, so that's good, because those stickers were very tiny and hard to set up. Elon can just have the house built if his stockholders are allowed to throw them through the glass itself. Yes. There you go. Yeah, nice and easy. We have another set of stickers coming up here in just a second, so I'm just going to leave those out as I apply this one here. Here we go. So that was that story. Now on to a bummer of a tale. I felt like we should talk about this. The Embracer Group, who reported to their shareholders, hey, there was this $200 million or $2 billion thing, not $200 million, $2 billion deal. It fell through. Later, it is reported, we do not know for sure, it's reported that was with Saudi Arabia, this big deal. They're like, look, this deal fell through, and we're going to have to make some changes around here and consolidate. They consolidated a bunch of stuff. They laid people off. More was to come, and that more came today on the heels of one of the big game releases of the year, and people talking about game reviews and being mad about coverage and who got code and who didn't get code and who's getting code later, and why do some streamers get code now, but other streamers only get code when people who paid earlier getting it, and all that other shenanigans. Embracer was like, by the way, we're shutting down Volition, and we laid off everyone at Volition. Sorry, game company that existed for 30 years. You don't exist anymore. You're done. If only your video game was better. Oh, wait, that's on us too? Shit. Oh, well, goodbye. And it's a bummer. Now, did I play the reboot of Saints Row? No. It looked bad. A couple of people I know liked it. But at least one of those people, the kinds of games they like doesn't mesh with the kind of games I like. So I was like, I'm going to wait on this. And it did get patched. And I wasn't necessarily waiting for the patch to fix the bugs, because there was only going to be so many patches that fixed the bugs. I was waiting for it to just get really cheap. And then I was going to pick it up. Because it didn't seem that great. They waited until they released it on Steam and just before it was going to be on PlayStation Plus to shut them down. Yes, it will be on PlayStation Plus next month. And they waited for that. But I was looking for a deal, and I don't feel bad about waiting for a deal on that game, because it looked like it wasn't from the people I know whose opinions I certainly trust in the matter, it didn't seem like the issues with that game were going to be solved with a patch. So it did not seem like a game that I was going to spend all my money on, because I only have so much money. I just only have so much money to be spending on video games, and I just bought a couple smaller games. It's like, I just bought Cyberpunk, and I just bought Goodbye Volcano High. So it's like, do I also want to be buying that? I haven't yet. I will at some point. But yeah, it is a shame. They are certainly best known for Saints Row, but of course had worked on many, many games. Yeah, and even Kotaku's like, hey, what a coincidence that just as reviews and everyone's focused on Starfield and mad or not mad about Starfield, like a streamer I know of some prominence, not someone that I talk about on here, I just know them personally. They got a death threat to their DMs that included their address, which is not publicly available, because they were talking about the game, and they have played a lot of PlayStation 5 games. So apparently, somebody decided that my friend was selling out all of the die-hard PlayStation fans that have supported them for the many years of them being a streamer. And they decided to include a threat with that person's address. That is a thing that happened this week. So while people are freaking the fuck out positively or negatively about Starfield, great time to be like, hey, we laid off a bunch of people. Yeah, it's complete and utter garbage. It's really sad. It's probably fine now enough for number of updates. No. So here's the thing. Lord Crashton, I don't think Saints Row is fine. I think Saints Row is playable, but I don't think it's a good... as someone who has watched people stream it, and watch people play it. I've also hung out in a Discord while someone played it, hours of it, and just checked in now and again. I don't think that game got good. I think it got less buggy. Like the parts where like Dan Reichert got to a place where he had to clear out a bunch of people and one of them didn't fully spawn, so he could never finish this quest and he couldn't leave the area. He could just blow up vehicles until he died. Like that shit might have gotten fixed, but it doesn't change like the writing and the dialogue and the voice acting. Like that didn't get fixed in Saints Row. It's probably like easier to play, but I don't know if it got like good. Which is a shame. I should say here before we get into more about this, just about this kit, these stickers that I put on here, which in some other Lfrith and aerial kits have been reverse stickers that you stick on the clear part, which I'm about to break off here, this clear piece. These are just traditional stickers. And also, this kit says, use stickers as you like. If I just wanted the clear on top of the black and not the clear on top of these red stickers, basically they were like, hey, if you want to, you could just skip these stickers. And that's rare and also appreciated. I like that idea. That this instruction book is just like, look, you don't have to use these stickers if you don't want to. Lord Crash says, I played Saints Row around launch. It was an alright game with plenty of bugs, but not good enough to invest much time in it. Yeah, so like, I don't know, at some point I'll play that game and feel bad. But right now, I just don't have any interest in it. So we're going to go with, we keep the stickers on here. I like seeing the stickers through this clear top piece. I think that looks neat. It's very hard for you to see it, apparently, because it's red on black. But there it is. That's better. I'll just do this. Yeah, lighten it up a little bit. I think this looks great, and it catches the stickers really well through the clear. That looks pretty good. This is going to be not a bland-looking kit, but is a darker-looking kit than some of the other ones we've built lately, especially the Michaelis, which was purple and white and very striking. This is less striking because it is lots of brown. I should also say they made quite a few games. Volition for many years. Worked. It'll probably reach Agents of Mayhem level of sales at 90% at some point. Yeah, probably. Also, I should point out this, folks. While Agents of Mayhem was not a good video game by any metric, the board game based on Agents of Mayhem is very fun. I played that at a PAX and had a lot of fun playing it. That's actually a quality game that is way better than the source material, which is a weird thing to say and not hard, but true. That is a true statement that I enjoyed that board game. That tabletop game was fun. Embracer did not comment as to how many developers are laid off. You may know that Voidburger, Jess, her boyfriend, worked at Volition, and he is, of course, out of work. He made a statement, but he talked a little bit about it being there on co-host, which I saw, where he said that like they thought they had that everything was touch and go, and nobody really knew, but they thought that they maybe were going to survive issues, and that turns out not to be the case. But there was belief within the company at his level that they were going to pull through it. And yeah, I'm worried for people I know at any group that has been embraced. Like I know people at Limited Run Games. I know people at Gearbox. I know people at companies that now are under the branch of Gearbox. Across many different companies. People I know very well. People I know from around. I like Jess' bit of describing her significant other in different ways every time she mentions it. Yeah, I can't keep track. Jess and I are like, I don't follow Jess. I follow Jess on social media, but I don't keep dibs on what she's up to. So, I don't remember if it's living, like I know they live together and they love each other and that's great, but I don't know. Have a great night, Harold. I will talk to you soon. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out for a little bit. Let's see. Volition began in 1993 as Pharolinx Software. And then they renamed themselves after a split within the company, splitting apart in 96. And then they were part of THQ. And then they became part of Koch Media, or Koch Media, Plaion, which is the new name of Koch Media, which then got purchased by Nordic Games, who then renamed themselves to Embracer. And of course, they are known for Saints Row, Free Space, Red Faction, Summoner. They made their own fantasy RPG that was like pretty fucking great. Kind of a goddamn mess, but pretty awesome. I think fondly on Summoner. And then they rebooted Saints Row. Let's see. Yeah, and they announced it. Embracer has said that they are trying to provide job assistance for those affected to smooth the transition, and I hope that's true. And of course, those franchises are still owned by Plaion, which is, of course, the name of Koch Media. Yes. And then, yes, they're helping Atari. Yikes. Everything, it just sucks. It just really sucks. I saw Dave Lang talking about a plan to recruit as many Volition people since they're nearby. Yes, the Volition folks are nearby, and Dave does run two studio. I mean, Iron Galaxy is a 2-studio house. Bungie is hiring people for positions. When these large things start to happen, a lot of companies start reaching out, that have been, like, and focusing on those folks, which is great. And it is one of the only bright sides in these things, is to see these companies, these Google Docs of, hey, here's who's hiring, and here's what this thing, and we're looking for this, and hey, we're not in games, but we're local. If anybody wants to move to mobile, we've got studios near you in Chicago, and all this other stuff. Like, it's nice. It fucking sucks, obviously, but it's nice. I'm not playing Starfield because I didn't get a code for. Hey, I'm not playing. Hey, I didn't get a code for Starfield. Weird, right? Also, I'm not going to be playing it as early as other people because I'm not going to pay the extra money for the enhanced edition. I'm just going to play the Game Pass edition of Starfield when it comes out. I don't have a Steam Deck, so I don't have to worry about the fact that right now it is not well optimized for the Steam Deck. But if that's how you wanted to play Starfield, was on your Steam Deck, it sounds like that might not be the best experience. So there's some game news for you. Maybe not going to be the best at that. You might want to play it on a computer or a game console instead. That is not a handheld like the Steam Deck. But I don't know. Yeah, I get codes from very small indie developers, and not that small indie developers who I have friends at. Like, I have no idea now, because Harris left, so I don't know. I got a couple codes because Harris used to work at a place, and of course I covered those games. He never sent me a code for a game I didn't play. But yeah, my level of getting a code is very small. Like, Square Enix didn't send me a code for the SpongeBob SquarePants DLC for Power Wash Simulator, even though I am known for covering that game consistently, much so for the fact that next week we'll be covering the update that came out today, the free update that came out today. We will be covering that next week, talking about the new vehicle and the new vehicle and the new locations, the bonus stages that came out in this update for Power Wash Simulator. Other stuff came out, like PS5. You can do cool stuff with a controller, gyro mode in the Switch version. They've also haven't fixed the bugs in the save bug for the Switch version, but they know what the bug is, and they can fix it in the next update. What about a small indie developer like Bethesda? Yeah, I mean, that's actually like more likely, right? Like, a small team within it somewhere could maybe get me a code, but a big publisher is probably not going to pay attention to me. Like I said, Square Enix didn't. If I had reached out to the people that actually make Power Wash Simulator, they might have, because they have retweeted me before, and one person there did chat with me a little bit once back in the early access days. So, like, it exists the possibility that I could, in the next paid update, I could reach out and go, hey, could you get me a code? I think they fixed the save bug on Switch for the people that haven't had it yet, but can't fix the saves for the people. Oh, that's what it is. They can't fix the people but that might be in the next update. They might be able to do that. It sounds like, things are a little mess there on the Switch for Power Wash Simulator. But yeah, I mean, like, some people send me codes. It's pretty cool. I don't know. There's going to be a Max Payne like horror game coming out soon that I think I'm going to get a code for, and I don't know if I want to play it because it's not the kind of game that I normally stream, but maybe I will. I don't know. I got to look at it. It seemed like, I don't know. It just didn't necessarily seem like a game that I would play, but it does seem very cool. So I might check it out if I get a code for it. Oh boy, it's fucking hot in here. I'm gonna have to get used to this again. If the air stays off now, I'm really gonna have to get used to lots of heat in this room with the door closed, even with the window open, with the door closed, so that I'm not leaking sound out into the house. I'm really gonna have to get used to that because this is brutal right now for me. It'll be better, and then once the stream's over, I'll open the door, and the cool air will rush in, and it'll be good. But yeah, right now, whew. Hot. Apparently, the timing of the Volition shutdown also means their healthcare ends today, since it's the end of the month versus tomorrow. That would have meant they kept for the rest of the month. Yes. Yeah, most likely there isn't going to be a grace period for their health insurance, and it ends there. I mean, the timing of it is not just to hide, probably not just to hide behind big reviews. Instead of doing it on a Friday, they did it on a Thursday. Yes, that is most likely a cost-cutting measure, is to not have to pay people for a full month of health insurance, which is, of course, fucking ghoulish. It's capital G ghoulish. Yes, it is big capitalism, indeed. All right, so I want to talk to you about the somehow 9-match card that developed itself for All Out, AEW All Out, happening this Sunday. And you're like, Pat, you already talked about All In. Yes, that was All In. This is All Out. Is that bad? Yes. Is it weird to have a pay-per-view 2 weeks in a row? Yes. Did most of this card, I would say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches of the 9 get booked on Wednesday? Yes. Did one of those matches get fucking booked after the show on Wednesday? Yes. A tag match. They couldn't even announce it during the show. Tony Khan tweeted about it. I think any other matches added to this will be at the buy-in, the 0 hour, and even one of these 9 matches could end up in the 0 hour. I imagine one of these could get bumped. I actually don't. Yeah, Samoa Joe versus Shane Taylor might get bumped. This is a show that has Ring of Honor matches on it instead of waiting till December, which is the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view, the Ring of Honor only pay-per-view. They are doing the tag titles are being defended, and the TV title is being defended. And Tony Khan, in his press release today, was like, I wanted to do Billy Starks versus Athena, and that'll be on the pre-show if it happens, but Billy Starks needs to get cleared to wrestle because there was some questions about it. Which is like, well, one, don't try to get points being like, hey, I wanted to have 2 women's matches on a card because I didn't in the last one. I want to do it in 1 week's time, but like, one person is injured, so I can't do it. And it's just like, well, do something else. Do anything else. Do any other match. It's not like you don't have women in this company, in storylines. Fucking book something else, Tony. Jesus fucking Christ. But anyway, here's the card that we do know. Luchasaurus, the champion, is facing Darby Allin, with Christian Cage, of course, in Luchasaurus's corner. My money is, of course, on Luchasaurus with Christian Cage, because this gimmick is funny. I don't think it's really gotten Luchasaurus over, but it's very much gotten Christian Cage over. And Darby has been winning a lot, so it's okay for him to lose here. I also don't want Darby Allin to be a champion in AEW, because I feel like that is boring. So Darby should not beat Luchasaurus. Let Luchasaurus continue to win, and Christian continue to talk about wrestlers' dead fathers. And in the case of Arn Anderson, dead son. Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs. This does not include. This is of course listed here on Wikipedia. Wikipedia does not include the fact that most likely, because why wouldn't they? QTV will be in there. So it's Miro's big match on pay-per-view. It's good for Miro. This is a problem because neither of these guys should lose this match. Miro should not be losing, and Hobbs should not be losing. So who are they going to fumble more? Well, you could say that QTV could come out and help Miro lose, which would somewhat protect Miro, because it would take multiple people for him to lose. So I guess I'm going with that. But I also don't know. I just don't know I don't know what the good solution for this is, because I don't think there is a good solution for this. I think it sucks either way. And it's it's a rough thing. I just think it's a rough match. Let's see what else we got. Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho. This match came together last week where Ruby Soho got involved, and then the next night was on cut a promo or an interview and was like, "Hey, Statlander, I want to fight you for the title." And Statlander was like, "Okay, yes." And so now they're fighting for the title. It's going to be fucking good. Statlander has been looking great on her way back. Ruby Soho is a fantastic wrestler and can fucking go. My fear is that Saraya and Toni Storm are going to get involved, making it muddy. Not cheating so that Ruby wins, but interfering with each other because one pinned the other. And my fear is the match is going to be more about their storyline than this match. It would be kind of interesting to have Ruby be a champion and Toni not being the champion, Ruby and Saraya the champion. Everyone's kind of mad at each other, and the Outlaw or Outcast. That's kind of an interesting story. But I think I would much rather just watch two really fucking good wrestlers be really fucking good wrestlers in the same ring. I don't know. Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley for the AEW International Championship. This is my pick for main event. There's one other match that could get booked at Collision that, if it gets booked the way I think it might be, would be the main event match. But if that match doesn't happen, and we'll talk about it at the end, this match should be the new main event. Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley. Orange Cassidy versus Penta last night was the reason to watch Dynamite. It was so fucking good. Orange Cassidy ended the show with an in-ring promo, his first in-ring solo promo. He's certainly done backstage vignettes and backstage interviews, and he's been up when other people have talked. But this is his first actual one, just him talking to the crowd. And he said that, he's hurt all the time, and he can't remember every match he's had, but he's a fighting champion, and he takes pride in being a champion, and that AEW is a place for guys like him who they said wouldn't get anywhere and do anything, but he's the champ. And he got loud there. And it was fucking cool. It was a cool promo. And so he's like, I'm still going to be champion. I'm going to beat you, Jon Moxley. And then he ended the promo with saying, "I'm freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, and I don't have a catchphrase." And then his music played, and everyone popped because, "and I don't have a catchphrase" is fucking awesome. That is a baller, awesome fucking choice, because he doesn't have a catchphrase at all. He's a man without a catchphrase. A buddy of mine who has been in this chat, what's up, Ian? I don't think you're here tonight, but Ian says he claims that "I'm Orange Cassidy and I don't have a catchphrase" is the new no gimmicks Steve the Samurai, which is of course a classic made up wrestling gimmick that is not real, but was once supposedly pitched by Chuck Taylor. Chuck Taylor has a list of wrestling gimmicks that he tried to get people to do. and one of them was Howdy Do It was, of course, a great one. And that one that always stuck with me and also stuck with my friend Ian was, of course, No Gimmicks Steve the Samurai. It's just such a good joke. And if you're wondering, yes, Chuck Taylor did come up with Dalton Castle's original gimmick in Chikara, Smooth Sailing Ashley Remington. Because he thought a smooth, like, yacht rock wrestler would be a good idea. And it was. That was a good gimmick. All right. I'm going to hit this gray here now. I'll panel line this whole arm when I'm done here. We're going to put a hand together here, but I'll panel line this at first because it's easy to do that. Do the front and back to this now while it's easier. Anyway, Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley will probably headline unless this other match happens that I think might happen. Kenny Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita with Don Callis. You could argue should also be the main event, but it doesn't have a belt. This will certainly be a fucking barn burner. I'm starting to think Kenny Omega is going to lose 2 weeks in a row because Takeshita probably should win this one. I think it would be weird if Takeshita didn't win this one. Also, despite evidence to the contrary, I think Orange Cassidy should win. I don't know if Orange Cassidy's going to win. I think Orange Cassidy should win, and he should lose to an up-and-comer. I don't think Jon Moxley, I don't think needs a low belt. This belt has only had 2 people as champion. All-Atlantic, because it was the All-Atlantic. Pac and you can say that Pac was probably too big for it, and I do think he was probably too big for it. But I would like to see an up-and-comer win the title and not have it be Jon Moxley. I don't think Jon Moxley needs a belt right now, and if he does need a belt, I think it should be the main belt and not a secondary belt like that. And I think a big win for Orange Cassidy over Jon Moxley would be fucking cool as hell. So that's where my money is. Kenny Omega should lose this one. I think Takeshita should win this one. Bullet Club Gold, which is going to be all 4 members of Bullet Club Gold, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, Jay White, and Juice Robinson. They are all taking on, it did make 2-belt Pac, though. 2-belt Pac did happen, you're right. That was not necessarily the plan, but that did happen, and that was cool. So that's Bullet Club Gold versus FTR and the Young Bucks, who have only tagged together once. There's only one other time they've ever been together on the same side. Can they get along? Can they coexist? In my mind, no. I don't think they can. I think Bullet Club Gold is picking up the W on this one. I think Bullet Club Gold is going to get 2 big pay-per-view wins back-to-back. I think that's the better outcome anyway. And then FTR can take the pin as if they, to make up for them not taking the pin at that other match. Because I don't think this rivalry is over, and I think they will not get along well. And it will lead to problems. Better Than You, Baby. Adam Cole and MJF defending the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. They have not appeared on Ring of Honor television. I don't know if they will. They are going to fight the winner of the Ring of Honor Tag Team Battle Royale, which happened during Rampage. So Rampage doesn't air till tomorrow, but it already happened. I know who it is. I won't say because it hasn't aired on television yet, and I want to keep that. You can look it up if you want to look it up. You can look up spoilers. But I will say, of the teams that competed, the team that won, I'm very happy to see win. I'm very happy that this team is going to be on a pay-per-view. I'm thrilled that this team is going to be in the same ring with Adam Cole and MJF. MJF being the world fucking champion. I think that rules. I don't think that team is going to beat them. Even with interference from their third member, even with MJF and Adam Cole, even there exists a chance that Roddy Strong and the Kingdom interfere and make it so that MJF and Adam Cole lose those belts. That exists. That possibility certainly exists. But I just don't see the people that they're fighting winning those belts and being champion. Just don't see it. Samoa Joe defending the Ring of Honor Television Championship against Shane Taylor. Shane Taylor won a long tournament to get this place, to get this title shot. These are big, beefy men. They are going to slap meat. It is going to be tough as hell, and it might be. This might steal the fucking show, everybody. This is my sleeper pick for stealing the show because Samoa Joe seems to apparently like Shane, so he might bump fucking hard for this dude. Shane Taylor can move. He's got Ring of Honor cred, just like Samoa Joe does. I think Shane Taylor. This is my dark horse pick of the night. This will steal the show, and Shane Taylor is going to win because Samoa Joe had that belt because he wasn't being used on Dynamite as much, and he was around, but he wasn't there enough. He's always there now. He's always on Collision. He doesn't need the Ring of Honor title. It's nice to see him with it. I think it's time to have the Ring of Honor title be on a guy that more often is on Ring of Honor television. Put the belt on Shane Taylor. Also, this match could get moved to 0 Hour, which would be a shame, but would be a banger match on 0 Hour. But I could see this match getting moved to that. All right, we are done with an arm. We got a lot done here already. Got a chest done and an arm. We probably finished the other arm by the end of the stream. Let's get started on this other arm. While I tell you the last match that has been booked. This match was announced via tweet after Dynamite. Not even on Dynamite they announced it. They did it on a tweet. Eddie Kingston and Shibata, the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, are facing the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. Claudio being the Ring of Honor World Champion. So this match didn't get set up during the show. You did see Eddie beat Wheeler Yuta for Eddie is the Neverweight Strong Champion. New Japan. He's a New Japan champion. You saw that Eddie defended that belt, and of course that led to against Wheeler, beat Wheeler. Claudio came out. Claudio wouldn't even look at him. Eddie is mad about that, of course, and that is going to lead to this tag match for some reason. Shibata beat Wheeler Yuta for the Pure Championship. They have battled several times in many different matches. Eddie and Shibata together is fucking rad. Eddie is going to take so many goddamn bumps and chops for Shibata. I think they will coexist pretty well. I don't think there will be any problems. I mean, Eddie is fucking wild. Eddie is a loose cannon as a competitor, but I think that Eddie will be cool with Shibata. This match is cool. I wish this match had got announced during the fucking show, but it didn't. Now, there's one more match that could get added to this card, and if it happens the way I think it might, it will be the main event. Right now, the main event feels like it'll be Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley, with smaller possibilities of Luchasaurus versus Darby Allin, or Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho. It would be fucking cool if it was Ruby and Chris getting the main event. Would be fucking rad. I don't think it's happening, but it would be fucking rad. But my bet is it is either Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley or this match, which is getting these pieces out. Ricky Starks is calling out. He wants, at the pay-per-view, He wants a strap match against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was a referee in a match, and then that led to him being attacked by Ricky Starks with a belt, with his own belt. And now Ricky is going to demand a strap match with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I don't think Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who did supposedly retire, he worked a match that he said was a retirement match. I don't think Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is going to come out of retirement. I think Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is going to declare his replacement. He's going to pick someone to represent him in a strap match. Now, there's a lot of thoughts about who that could be, right? Could be a lot of different people in this scenario. It is set up, in my opinion, for that man to be CM Punk, and then CM Punk versus Ricky Starks in a strap match for the quote-unquote real world title will main event the pay-per-view. Now, do I actually think that CM Punk is going to be cleared based on investigations and shenanigans and all that? Yeah, I do. I'm fucking been beaten down by AEW and their seemingly endless second chances for this man. I don't think he should have come back on Collision. I don't think he should have come back at all. I think they should have had him sit out his contract, pay him a bunch of money, and just be done with it. They didn't do that. They bent over backwards for him. Apparently, there is video evidence of the altercation between him and Jack Perry. Even with the fact that he apparently in an argument said, I don't like it here. I don't even want to be here, to Tony Khan. Keeping all of that in mind. Lashbrook, that came out today that because they were filming stuff for documentary stuff, internal documentary stuff, that altercation did get recorded on video. Now, I don't know if there's audio. I don't know if it picks up the whole thing. I don't know if it's the aftermath. We don't know. But apparently there is video. And Lord Crashing asks questions, is there a limit for Punk on AEW? And the answer is, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think there should be. You know, I just don't. You know, apparently he got fined for that after the show, only, you know, in the audience thing about Hangman, not the call out Hangman thing, but the thing where after a collision, he just saw a Hangman sign in the crowd and started shooting on Hangman and his poor action figure sales or whatever the fuck he was talking about there. I don't know. I don't know if there's a limit. I don't know if there's a boiling point. I don't know if there is a line to cross when it comes to Punk. I have no fucking idea. Something. Would it have to be a criminal thing or some major legal liability thing? So, Lord Crashing, it would most likely have to be a thing. So, there are a couple different ways this could go down, right? One could be that the people at Warner are like, hey, what's the fuck's happening over there? What's this guy doing on TV? And in fact, it's the opposite. They're like, when is he coming back to TV? In the last time, not this time, but in the last one, his last suspension, there was apparently pressure for Warner. Of course, it's all insider stuff. Who knows? But there's apparently pressure from Warner to get him back out there because they were trying to make Collision feel like a must-see thing and a big deal, and they wanted Punk back for that. Beyond that, if they were like, hey, this shit is not worth it. That's a thing. If it's an unsafe work environment, if he broke his contract, that's through lawyers, which is why people don't know. Like, they're in Chicago. Punk is most likely not going to be there on Saturday. That theoretically means that some people might want a refund because they came specifically to see him because it's in Chicago. And maybe that some people bought tickets to a Chicago pay-per-view with the understanding that CM Punk would be there. Even though he was never scheduled for a match or announced for a match, they might have been like, well, it's Chicago and Punk is in the company. He'll have a match, so I'm going to go to Chicago. Like, we don't know. We don't know. It could be somebody else. I would love it first off, I don't want Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in a strap match. He's an old man. He's already retired. He's already retired twice. I don't want him to be in that match. If he has to be in it, a strap match is at least something interesting. Okay. If he does pick a replacement for himself as a stand-in, there are other people on the card who could be elevated in the company to that spot. If Scorpio Sky is healed up, Scorpio Sky could be a big deal. Andrade won his mask back, and we haven't seen Andrade since he won his mask back. Have Andrade show up for that. It would be funny to do Chicago for a week and not have CM Punk. Last week, it would be incredibly funny if CM Punk did not do All Out because of a fight he got in at All In. It would be incredibly hilarious if he did not do any Chicago dates because of that. I find that very funny, and it is entirely possible that is exactly what happens, and it is a humorous outcome. But yeah, I could see Andrade stepping in that role. I could see, because Andrade could just be like, my father-in-law wanted me to help you out. And the crowd gets it. The crowd is smart enough to know that his father-in-law is Ric Flair. And yeah, if Ric Flair was like, hey, I want you to go help out Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, this like absolute Ricky Starks is whipping him with belts, go help out. Like, that's all you need to be like, well, I got a call from a friend of yours asking me to come have your back. And that's all you need. Or like Scorpio Sky comes out, any baby face in the company, Raw or, Collision or, not Raw, Collision or Dynamite, like, sure. Anybody who's not on the card that you think should be on the card, have them come out. It looks like Jericho is not in the match. That's great. I'm very happy that Jericho is not in the match. We don't need it. We don't need Jericho in a match this weekend. But it looks like he's not on the card. That would also be very funny if it was, considering that Jericho and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat fought in WWE when Ricky the Dragon Steamboat came out of retirement. And he looked fucking good in that match. He looked damn good in that match. It would be kind of poetic and awesome if he was just like, fine, I'm doing it. Babyface Jericho. I mean, he's not a babyface. Also, Jericho is tagging. The whole story is he and Sammy got their tag team back together, and they're going to go after gold. Tag team gold. That's their whole thing. So it doesn't make any sense for them to do that, but it would be pretty funny if they did. All right, I'm going to panel line this right now. We're going to take a pause for the cause. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel, and then we'll talk about some anime, and we'll talk about some video games and all that. And then we'll continue to work on the arm here. I didn't even realize it's after 10. It's time to talk about the pause for the cause. Let's go over here. First off, if you are currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money or your Prime Gaming token. You could be like Ghost Valve, who resubbed, which is very kind of Ghost Valve. There are various ways to support me here financially. I'm going to talk about a bunch of them, and they're all optional. You could gift a sub, although I would say, oh, hey, Dirty, you'd probably just gift a sub tomorrow when there's a new month. But if you wanted to gift a sub today and join the gifts, you could do that. Bits and coins always appreciated. You could be like Harold and Stroud and Buddy Fiend. But yeah, you could gift a sub if you want to do that. There's, if you could. You could if you wanted to. And there are other ways to support me on other crowdfunding sites and such, like Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. In the $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier, you could subscribe there. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining Patreon. And if you're like, well, Pat, I can't join Patreon today. Tomorrow's the start of a new month, or it's the start of a new month. So like, that doesn't work out. Don't worry, it's rolling subscriptions. So if you signed up today, you would not be charged until the end of next month. So it works out. It's good. They implemented that, and that's a good thing they did. I also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBaer. Subscribing to YouTube is free. Becoming a member is just $2 a month, and you get my Wednesday videos a day early. And the one I put up yesterday, you would have been happy to get that on Tuesday, because I think it's very silly and fun. So it would have been great. Also, those are monthly ways. Those are reoccurring monthly subscriptions, but what about a one-time donation? You could do that if you want to my coffee or my stream elements or my PayPal. And anything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and I buy model kits and equipment with money from that fund. This kit, the Thorn, I picked this kit up because it was on sale on Amazon, and I was like, oh, I have money in my fund to get that. The next thing that I'll be building, whenever it's time for the next thing, those will most likely come from my backlog of kits that I have. But if you wanted me to jump the queue, a thing you could do is buy something off my Amazon wish list, because I'll make a dedicated video of it for my YouTube. Talk about how you bought something because you include a note, talk you up, and then it'll be the next thing that I build, and it jumps the queue, because that's the least I could do is build the thing that you bought as soon as possible. I've got Lego sets, inexpensive Lego sets, expensive Lego sets, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. I told you about how I have the Mold King kits. I have the Mold King RX-7 Initial D kit, which is licensed, and the Bat Sports Car, which is unlicensed. I have something that is even less licensed. Building Boat, another Lego knockoff company, Building Boat, has a thing. Their description of the item calls it Back to the Future DeLorean Building Kit. Time Machine Building Kit. The box says Return to the Future on it. The box, not the description on YouTube or on Amazon. The box in the photo says Return to Future. Not even Return to the Future. Return to Future DeLorean Building Car. 211 pieces. That's $20. And you can save 10% with a coupon. And the color of it is DeLorean on Amazon. It might be the sketchiest thing I've ever put on my wish list. I need to know. If you want me to know, buy that thing. I've got model kits and a bunch of other stuff. Inexpensive stuff, expensive stuff, some gear. I put that on the list because I was just like, the audacity. Return to Future. It says Return to Future on it. It also says UFOI and not the company that is selling it. So the company that's selling it here might not actually be the company that made it. Building Boat Store might just be a store that sells... Yes, okay. As far as I can tell, Building Boat is just the people selling it here. I don't think that they're... Yeah, okay. They sell, you know what? No, they are. Because they sell, all the things they sell are weird aftermarket things that say UFOI on them. They sell a bunch of stands for Lego sets. Not the Lego sets, weird knockoff stands for them. Yeah, this all seems like bootleg bullshit. Oh, I want to build it. I want to build it. Oh, wow. They have knockoff Link and Zelda. They have Link minifig kind of things, like they're the brickheads. They have knockoff brickheads. Compatible with Lego. compatible with Lego? I bet it's not. Anyway, that's the most bootleg ass shit. I also have a throne wish list if you want to get me a gift of something to build on stream, but you don't want to go through Amazon, which I understand. You could do that. And then USA Gundam Store, the most convoluted way to help me out. You could buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store. They'll send you an email with a gift card code. Then you send me a whisper on Twitch or a DM on Twitter with that gift card code, and I will use that gift card code to buy something at USA Gundam Store, and then I'll build it. You know, that's how that works. I have a Discord. You can join my Discord if you are interested in that. You could definitely hang out on the Discord. It is a nice little place full of great people. Join my Discord. Why don't you? Other ways to support me. Oh, wait. I got a couple of video links for you to check out because those are all ways to financially support me. The other way to support me is to, I don't know, check out a video of mine. You could check out Pat Baer's Anime Club. It is my review of The Fire Hunter, a series that was recommended to me by numerous people on social media as a thing that I should check out. And so I reviewed the first 5 episodes of 10 of the first season. So check that out. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where every week I write and perform a comedy piece. This one is a pun that I thought was very funny. It was a shower thought of a pun. And I wrote a short character based on that pun. Now I think you'll like it. It's fun. It's a fun little bit of business. I use a green screen technology, which I enjoy doing on videos. So that's there too. So check that out. I am going to drink some water. We are going to talk about some anime that I have been watching. And I am going to dramatically transition to the overhead in just a moment. And in fact, I'm doing it right now. Lord Crashton says drugs. Yes. Sometimes people need to take their medications. And sometimes those medications happen at night. Because you take them more than once a day. And you are strict about the times that you take them. Whereas you could do it an hour later, but it'll be weird. And you get in the habit of doing them when it's time to do them. So you do them. Also, this will change. This is going to change up at a certain point. The times in which medications are taken will be different. And it will not be a big. It won't be it won't interrupt the streams. I'll still drink a lot of water, but I won't do that part. That will be within the next few days, next week, probably next week. I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow what the deal is with that. So you'll know on Saturday or whatever. Because maybe I'll be taking them less a day. I don't know yet. It's fun. It's fun to just not fucking know. And not know what's up. It's incredibly fun for that to be part of your life. I'm being sarcastic. Let's see what I got here. Oh, nice. I got a reskeet on Blue Sky. Very fun. My mission is to get more and more model kit builders and model kit building streamers on Blue Sky so that we can build up the Gunpla community on Blue Sky. And that's working so far. It's working out pretty good. Because then I just invite them from Discords and various other places. And I just invite them to be on Blue Sky. That's kind of been my mission. And it's worked out pretty good. We're not here to talk about Blue Sky, though. We're here to talk about some anime. I'll say this right off the bat. Because of a 2-week thing that happened on television, The Great Cleric had 2 weeks off. And both episodes ended up airing on Crunchyroll. And I only reviewed one of them. So I'll talk about episode 7 today. But then, so I'm not a week behind, I'm going to talk about episode 8 on Saturday. Because I didn't know until like 7:30 tonight. because I watched it late because I had stuff going on. So I didn't watch it until tonight, and I was like, oh shit, there's two. I could probably cram in both, but I'm not going to. So I will talk about episode 8 of The Great Cleric on Saturday. But right now, I can talk to you about Reborn as a vending machine. I now wander the dungeon. So right now, we have the Bearcats are fucking back and still hanging out. These dumbasses who didn't understand, who never even considered the possibility that our box might be a sentient being in this magical world. They're there because Director Baer asked Lemmis and Humley to begin mapping the maze, and then the Bearcats are going to protect them and go with them because the Menagerie of Fools is going back to Clearflow Lake. And then we've kind of seen Mishuel before. Mishuel is like handsome, but has no confidence and is really nervous. And Boxo kind of observes that behavior and wants to help out if it can. And he joins the group. He's going to help out on this mapping adventure. And it's tough because he's just like, his personality just doesn't mesh well, and he's having a lot of problems, and it's not going to work out great. And Boxo kind of wants to help but doesn't know how to. Also, in a rare move for an isekai. This might be the second time ever I've come across as an isekai. Or any anime, even in anime in general. I mean, a character is upset and going through some stuff because of her period. Lammis is not feeling great, and magic does not make periods better in this fantasy world. Unfortunately, for Lammis, it ain't great there for this. But she does have Boxo's help. Because Boxo dispenses pads and transforms into a washing machine to clean her clothes up. And it's a small little thing, but it's so weird that it's in this anime about a vending machine, a guy that gets reincarnated as a vending machine, to have like a nice little moment about that of being like, oh yeah, that sucks. Well, let's see if I think I can help out because I'm a special cool vending machine. So I guess I'll try to help you out. It's just weird. It's weird. Anyway, Mishuel kind of comes out of his shell a little bit in helping and then all working together. It's like they're kind of having some nice moments, which is fun. We like to see that. We like to see characters growing and maybe becoming better versions of themselves. And just in time, though, because a week after Mishuel is like kind of hanging out, we find out that Mishuel is being targeted by assassins for some kind of reason linked to his past, and they're nearby. And he's like, okay, well, I'm out of here. Thank you, everybody, and good luck to you. But, he's worried. And then a challenge is issued. Okay, Mishuel, if you're strong enough to break through Boxo's defenses, then we're not going to get involved. If you are strong enough on your own, then we won't help you out. He can't because Boxo is very strong. Boxo does have to use some points in order to strengthen the shields, but yeah. And he's like, okay, fine. And it's trivial. The fight against these assassins is completely trivial because they're all strong. They're working together. They think they're only going after one guy because he's never had friends before. And also, Boxo is there for support, both moral and material support. They got Boxo on the case, so it's no problem. Then Mishuel's like, okay, well, I'm off. Thanks, everybody. And it's recommended. It's like, hey, the Menagerie of Fools will accept anyone. They don't care about your past, and you're strong, so you should think about joining them. And then we get them, they go back after a few weeks, and then you may remember Chains. They were the restaurant chain group that opened up shitty restaurant and got their asses handed to them. Well, they're not done being dicks, because in Boxo's absence, they made a bunch of fake-ass vending machines that sold low-quality food as if they were pretending to be Boxo. But now that Boxo's back, everyone realizes, oh, wait, Boxo doesn't suck, you suck. And they get exposed and shut down for their shitty business. And I do like comeuppance, but it feels like, all right, well, now we're just kind of picking on these. Like, they're shitty, but it feels like we're just picking on them constantly. I don't know. I don't love it. I don't love it that they're just constantly the butt of the joke. But who knows? Maybe they'll commit some heinous incident soon, and it'll make sense to fuck around with them. But that's the end of the episode of Reborn as Vending Machine. I now wander the dungeon. Fun. That's the name of the game with the series. It is just a fun time. It is a good time, and I look forward to watching them. Now, the Great Cleric. We're in Arc 2 of the Great Cleric. The 2-week hiatus it took was rough because that was the end of one arc and the start of the new one. Now we're into the Labyrinth arc. I don't think that's the name of it. That's what I call it. This is where I checked out of the manga because it got tedious and monotonous. And then I went back in to continue reading the manga, and now I think I'm at the point where I stopped again. But I think I stopped after this is done. I think. I don't know. So, this is episode 7. Again, I'll do episode 8 on Saturday. Lucille. Lucille died and was reincarnated and decided to become a healer. He trained. I do want to point out this kit has... These arms are... Obviously, there's no waist here. The chest is really short, and they'll be like torso. Look how long these arms are. These arms feel very long. This kit has, like, just long-ass arms. Like, I know that there's more to the kit that we haven't built yet, because we got to build the waist. But even when you build the waist, it's still long. Huge wingspan for a mech. Yeah, because even when it's done, it's still a long-armed kit. Well, they still go way down to the knees. I don't know. We'll get there. We finished the upper part of the kit, though. So now we're going to jump over to the feet, of course. Gotta build the feet. And we can do these 2 at a time. So we'll do 2 at a time. Anyway, so Gundam Basketball League, indeed. All right, so we are introduced to the Guildmaster and head waitress, who's apparently very strong, in the holy city of Cerule. This is where Lucille has been given a promotion in order to get rid of him, so he is no longer in the city that he was staying in, and he gets promoted by the Pope, and he's going to work a new job, and we'll find out more about that. He gets more Substance X because he needs more Substance X, that mysterious liquid that he takes, which like apparently helps increase his stats and stamina. Let's see. He goes to the church. He meets Granhart, who is his supervisor. So he gets a chance to talk to Granhart a little bit. And then he also runs into Lumina. Lumina is the head of the Paladins. And Lumina was, or one of the chapters of Paladins. And Lumina is the person who helped him out and brought him to the Healers Guild in the first episode. She's old school in the show. We haven't really seen her. They meet up later. We'll get to that. Granhart asks some questions about Lucille's like healing practices and experiences, which is him like verifying to like, hey, sounded like you interfered with people. And Lucille takes this as an opportunity to basically be like, yeah, by doing the right thing in a shitty place, I'm sure I pissed off people. But basically, like via montage, we don't have to hear him explain what's going on. But basically, he explains like his point of view and also how he would change things and how he would improve the opinion of healers. And then he meets with, he finds out what his job is going to be. Apparently, underneath the church headquarters, there is a cemetery, and enough magic spread and enough miasma happened in there that the cemetery has morphed into a dungeon. Obviously not great. And that dungeon is filled with, of course, the undead. And his job is going to be an exorcist. And he knows purify, and which is a spell he picked up, and heal, and he's going to go in, and he's going to work in this dungeon, killing the undead. And he gets more information about that from Lumina, who's like, you're thinning out the numbers of purification magic. You can keep the drops of monsters, and you can sell them, and we even will sell you special tomes that, like healing books or spell books that are only available to members of the church. So it's like exclusives. But the downside is that you're dealing with the undead. It's spooky there. And also the undead smell very bad. And, Lucille's like, well, it can't smell worse than Substance X. And I've gotten used to that smell. So I think we'll be okay. We meet Jord, who he's replacing, who used to have that job. And he goes around and he's like, you know what? I'm going to map the first floor as I do this. I'm going to keep an eye on the first floor. I'm going to map it. He meets his first undead, zombies, and then later skeletons and a few other species. He purifies them. He gets the drops. He finds out that heal will also do it. And then he makes a discovery. Hey, I have a magical sword. I'm sure not everybody that does this has that, but I have a magical sword, and if I pump magic into it, it will take less MP than the purification spell, and I can just slash at some of them. He finds out that Substance X, when he opens a barrel of that, it causes the people the zombies to disperse, which is great. Also, I will say this, he gets to the third floor. In this episode, a leap of logic happens, which I ignored the first time I read the manga. And then later, I got to a point where, oh, wait, that does make sense now. So, this is important. I'm not going to spoil based on what I know of the manga, but I will say, his level doesn't go up. And because it's the first time he's killed monsters, he killed monsters and his level doesn't go up. And so he decides in his head, oh, wait, is this like hazing? Is this an illusion? Because I didn't get experience, these monsters must not be real. And that is important, and we might get to that by the end of if we don't get to that by the end of the series, I'll say why that's important that happened. If we don't get to it, I don't know if we will. Because it is very important. Because I don't think this is going to get a second season, so I'll spoil that if they don't talk about it in the show. But yeah, that was interesting. I didn't pick it up the first time I read that in the manga, but now that I'm watching it, I'm like, wait, yeah. And then finally, as I start moving on to a leg here, we got to talk about Helck. Let's talk about Helck, baby. Sorry, actually, one quick second. Gotta check this something right here. Getting this message. What does it say? Okay, great. Okay, episode 8 of Helck. We now know the name of the bird, the green bird guy that has been helping out Helck and Vermilio as they try to leave this island. Pee-wee, P-I-W-I, Pee-wee is the name of the bird. I instantly like the bird more, with the bird having a goofy name. And I'm like, hell yeah, great job, bird. So we got bird. They're hanging out. The village head is like, hey, the witch was just here. The witch left. You want to go talk to the witch? The witch says you can go climb up and go talk to the witch if you want. So they're like, okay, great. We're going to go do that. The funniest bit in several episodes since we've had episodes where Helck, like it's been a while since Helck like did a goofy thing or a wild thing and everyone reacted comedically. It's been a hot minute since we had that. We're back in it here because they climb up the mountain and they find a bird that is the same species as Pee-wee, and they just assume that the bird is the witch. And they're talking to the bird, and they're like, okay, witch, well, we need your help, and the village chief said we could talk to you and all this stuff. And then the bird is just like, what? And then it turns out the witch is like, the witch looks like a demon like Vermilio. Just looks like very similar to Vermilio. So that is very fun. That's a nice little like, oh, wait, no, it's not a demon. That you actually want to talk to the witch is right over there. That was a fun little bit of misdirect. I like that. So they meet the real one, and the witch is like, you want to go to the North Continent here? Okay, all right, because apparently there are many continents. But you're going to need preparations. You need a boat. I can tell you directions. You got to get food and water, and you got to get yourself a boat there. And what you need is a shikango, which is an animal that will guide you toward the continent's direction, that will know the general sense. They already met one in the last episode, so Helck goes out to catch one. He ends up catching 3, and then he's very disappointed when she's like, we only need 1. Which is also fairly funny. They leave, everybody waves goodbye. Hey, also, maybe the witch is from the Empire. And she might be. She might be a human. She might be a demon. We're like unsure what her deal is. But what we do know is that Pee-wee is with them. Pee-wee is hanging out. Their green bird friend, because the witch said that Pee-wee should go on on a journey with them. And Vermilion's like, I mean, all right, I guess. And they're eating together, and they're navigating the ocean, and there's a little montage. There's an issue with a octopus, and they're like, they use some special... The witch gave like them some special magic to help deal with situations like that. So they use the special magic to avoid the octopus. And then, at the end of the montage, there's a whirlpool, and the octopus monster is back, or a different one. And Helck is like, well, we're out of magic. Time for me to fight this thing. And that's the end of the episode. So we don't know how that goes. I would say there wasn't a lot of action in this one, but there were some good jokes. And last week's episode didn't have action, really, and didn't have jokes. So I am happy to have jokes. You know, jokes showed up for this one. And that's nice. So at least we got that. This series started like as like a hidden gem and like, oh, this is so fucking funny and cool and well animated, and it's still well animated, but it is less funny and less cool as it goes along. This is one of the things where I would like say like, if I was like recommending it, I would be like, get the first collection, but don't get the second collection, because I think it's like diminishing returns. Like, I think who knows? It might take a real dramatic turn. It might get fucking funny again. I knew that this show was not going to stay as the anime where a strong human is competing against demons to become the next demon lord and hijinks ensue. Like, I knew there was, at some point, shit was going to get real. It happened faster than I thought, and it's not as fun to watch now. I still like it, but it's not my favorite show of the season. Now is the part of the stream, friends, where I would like to hear from you. What's up? What's going on? What are you watching right now? What are you playing right now? What games are you counting the hours for Starfield? Are you getting a special edition of it? You waiting for it to be just on Game Pass? You playing Goodbye Volcano High, a game that I own and have not touched. I own Goodbye Volcano High, and I have not played it. I will, but I just haven't, gotten the chance to play it yet, but I do plan on doing that. So don't fucking worry about it. But yeah, what are you playing? What are you watching? What do you got? What do you got going on? For me, you know me. It's Hearthstone. It's Hearthstone. I have finally completed a difficult task in the wonderful Mars First Logistics. I completed another difficult task that I've been struggling with. I finally built a terrible contraption to capture a butterfly, an escaped butterfly, and it is a nightmare. And I built a cage contraption, and so I have been able to do that, and I am very proud of myself for finally completing that task that had been driving me just a little bonkers getting that together. But I finally completed that task, and I have one more main task left of the early access build before they start adding more stuff. I got one more task that I can complete, which is the big ice cube. I got to move the big ice cube, and I have been unable to move the big ice cube. I almost went to Reddit to try to figure it out, but I have resisted looking at other people's builds or videos of people doing the ice cube. But at some point, I will start investigating, or maybe even Steam, whatever, Steam community, maybe something like that. And yeah, so that's the sort of thing, like I said. Also, I did download the update to Power Wash Simulator, and I have started power washing a vehicle. I am like 80 or 90% done of a vehicle, because I wanted to have, because right now we've got the vehicle and we have 2 locations, and so I wanted to start the vehicle so that when I stream it next week, it'll just be, okay, now I'm just going to go in and finish it off. Because when you start one bonus stage, if you haven't completed another, it resets it. Except I got a glitch in my system, and they reset the fountain, the gnome fountain, which I 100% completed. It reset it to 0, which sucks because that is a pain in the ass to clean, and I don't want to do it again because it was a fucking problem doing it in the first place. So I am PO'd that I have to go and do that fucking shit again. I don't want to do it again. Someday. But it'll be a while before I do it. And I'll do it on my own time. But yeah, that's next Tuesday's stream. Power Wash Simulator. We're going back in because there was an update, a free update, and I want to check in with the game. And it's relaxing, and I like sometimes I like a relaxing stream. Thank you for everybody that joined me on Tuesday for that stream. That was really fun. That was watching old wrestling, including old wrestling that I took part in, comedy performances that about wrestling. I want to make that clear. Always want to make that clear. I am not saying that I was a wrestler. I definitely was not a wrestler. I just took part in comedy stuff about wrestling and had a good time doing it at the time. And so I showed a little bit of that. And then also watched some very old wrestling, and we ended with some Funker promos, some Terry Funk promos from ECW back when it was Eastern Championship Wrestling and throughout. And we watched like 2 years and watched Terry change in that company over those years, which was very fun. Is this the right piece? Is this C23? I might have just taken out the wrong piece. That was C20. Yeah, that's C23. Okay. Great. I got to put this piece in properly. All right, I am now. Oh, also, Goodbye Volcano, as I said, Goodbye Volcano High. I purchased. I have not played it yet. I will have stuff to say about that on Saturday because I am going to carve out some time tomorrow to play that video game. I thought I'd be able to start it today and be able to give you my rough impressions, but that is not the case. Did not have the opportunity to do that. I'm going to panel line this now. All right, let me go back to what you say here. Lastbrick says, I watched most of Netflix's One Piece today, and I liked it a lot. I have not watched it because I do not intend to pay for Netflix anytime soon. Netflix is going to have something I really want to watch for me to jump back in on Netflix, because I just have no interest in that, even for a month. And I am glad that people seem to be enjoying it. I got so burned by Cowboy Bebop, I can't see myself watching it, but I am glad that people are liking it and that, they're enjoying it. I know some people that watched every episode today. I don't recommend that for anything. I think marathoning things leads to, like, it just washes over you and you don't really get to enjoy it as much as otherwise. But I hope the people that are watching it are having a good time with it and enjoying their time with that series. But yeah, like I said, it's not part of my agenda right now. Wait, I put this in wrong. I put this in upside down. Okay. Last week says, my review of Starfield so far is Street Fighter 6 has a better character creator. That's a shame. I'm not too surprised about that. A lot of the, unfortunately, Bethesda does leave up a lot of the coolest stuff for that. They somewhat leave that up to the community to get wild in the custom characters and such. So it's not totally surprising that they didn't go buck wild with it, the creator. But I hope you're having a good time. Lord Crashton says, you watched more Columbo and only just realized in season 2 that Peter Falk has a synthetic right eye, so that's neat. Also saw him take a good tumble down a steep hill in one episode for the most physical thing he's done so far. Yeah, Peter Falk didn't do a lot of physicality in that show because it was mostly mind games. He did a lot of making people think that they can get away with it because they underestimate him and his intelligence. So he didn't do a lot of pratfalls or big brawls or anything like that. There are on occasion there's some stuff like that, but it is few and far between, I would say, for sure. Occasionally there's shenanigans, but it's pretty rare that there are shenanigans with Columbo. I am excited to start Goodbye Volcano High, Lord Crashton says, and the new Power Wash Sim maps, working on getting the gyro settings dialed in on PS5 so I can finish the final campaign level in style. Oh, yeah, so yes, the PS5 and if you were using the Switch handheld, you can use gyro, and there's some demos of it, and it looks pretty fucking cool, I will say. That is not an option for your friend Pat. Your friend Pat cannot make use of that, but your friend Pat does think it looks cool. Did I do these legs wrong? Nope, they're just weird. Yeah, these legs are just weird. They're so stubby. Look at these. Look at these stubby legs. Why is this kit so top heavy? Might need a stand just to show it off to you. This is a weird kit. I like this build, but it is strange. The arms are so long, and then the legs are pretty fucking short. They're short and stumpy. Weird. You do like when Columbo runs into his limits, like his fear of heights or having a bad time on boats. Yes, they don't make him perfect, which I like. He is fallible, but he does get the job done because he knows what's up, and he knows how to manipulate to get what he needs, and he uses his strengths, which is fun. God, it's so fucking hot in here, everybody. We're definitely gonna wrap up soon because I'm sweating like a stuck pig in here. I hate it. This doesn't this look like this should transform? Like this leg just looks like this kit looks like it should have a transformation, like a goofy vehicle transformation that you're like, I guess that's the vehicle. I guess that works, but it doesn't really work that great. I don't know. That's to me anyway. This kit screams that kind of a thing. Just this whole design. Look at this leg. It's so weird looking. I don't know. Yeah. The arm and the okay. The arm goes to the foot. Like that's too similar. Like this arm should be smaller. Weird proportion kit. Weird top-heavy friend. We got to work on the right leg. We'll get a little bit of the right leg done, and then we'll probably wrap up soon. You're dropping like flies tonight, but I might just take a cold fucking shower. How often do Gunpla kits start with the legs and torso versus head and arms? So, Lord Crashington, traditionally, kits are, this is a traditional kit, head, chest, or chest, head, arms, feet, legs, torso, backpack, weapons. That's generally it, right? Head and chest, either or. Rarely do you build a leg before you build the feet. Rarely, but it does happen. Do you build the torso? Generally, you build the torso after you build the chest in proper order if the kit is mostly torso. If it's got a big torso or in a weird frame, then you'll do that. Like you got weird, like spider legs or something. But this has been traditionally since like the 2000s. Chest or head, then arms, then feet, then legs, then waist, then backpack, then weapons. Sometimes the backpack is part of the chest. Sometimes it's not. It depends. Now, I brought this up before. We've talked about this a little bit. I build in order. If I wanted to, I could build the waist right now. I could go right here to the waist, build this, build the waist, throw it on there. Then I could put the leg on the waist. I could put the waist on the kit and then put the legs on there. I could just do that if I wanted to. There are no side skirts on this kit that I have to build later. It's just part of the leg. I could do that. And then we got the weapons, and then we have the we have the backpack thing that goes on last. Because the backpack is technically a weapon. So that's part of the weapon build. It's a shield, but also a weapon. So, I could build the waist now. I could just get out of order. I like building in order because I want someone to Google or look on YouTube, for Gundam Lfrith Thorn. And because they're like, I'm having a lot of fucking problems with the chest. I just can't get this chest right. Oh, this person did a build of it. Oh, it said they did chest and head. Okay, I'll find it. And scroll through and find the part they're looking for. That's a priority of mine. It's not the top priority of mine. The top priority of mine is for y'all to have a good time. Watch me build this. Watch me fail or succeed or figure out learn from my mistakes, correct errors, put together a cool looking kit. You watched today. We started with a completed head. And by the end of the stream, we built a chest, 2 arms, and 2 feet and a full leg. We got a lot fucking done here in one stream. We're going to finish this kit next on Saturday. I don't know when I'm going to start on Saturday as well. Tomorrow there'll be my $10 patrons at the beginning of the month will get a poll, and they'll get to vote on what I build, which is fun. I think that's fun. I'll be able to do that. But because this kit's coming together nice and fast, and by the end of Saturday's stream, we'll finish this up. But yeah, my priority is you all have a good time. We hang out. We talk about stuff you want to talk about. We talk about stuff I want to talk about. It's fun. And then people who can't watch it live can watch it later, either on the VOD here on Twitch or on YouTube. And then also, I would like to be helpful for somebody to be like, I'm confused about this part. I'm going to look up to see if somebody has streamed building this. And I'm going to see if they have any thoughts about why this didn't work. Like, I would like to be helpful. I like being helpful in that regard. And I'm going to help myself out by cooling off because I am sweating. We got a ton done on this kit. Holy shit. Again, we went from the head to chest and arms and legs. Just a ton of stuff here. A bunch of stickers. A great looking kit. I'll take a photo of this for social media and stuff. Lord Crashing asks, are you glad to not be in New York City for the Eric Adams train wreck? No. I wish I was in New York City. Eric Adams is not the worst mayor that has been the mayor of New York City when I lived there. I lived through worse mayors. I will live through far worse mayors than Eric Adams. But I miss New York City very much, and I never had a mayor in New York City that I liked. Bloomberg, de Blasio. I didn't like de Blasio. So I didn't come to New York to like my mayor. So yeah. No, I am not glad. I am consistently devastated eternally by the fact that I don't live in New York anymore. I have to hate Eric Adams from afar instead of hating Eric Adams locally. Thank you everybody for hanging out on that. We are going to go ahead and go on a raid because that is how we end every stream. We are few but mighty tonight, and we do need to raid because there are streamers out there that maybe you don't know about. Maybe we'll stream somebody that I will raid someone that I raid all the time, and you'll go and see somebody rad as hell, and you'll be like, oh yeah, that person's cool, or somebody new that you've never seen before. But we're going to go hang out with them and see what they're up to. Who's streaming right now? Who's streaming and doing cool shit? You know what? We haven't rated this this person does not need our couple views. They don't need it at all. We have not rated him in a while. He's just started streaming 15 minutes ago, so he'll be doing it for a bit, which is nice. We're going to raid Dan Reichert because Dan Reichert is fucking playing Armored Core, and I kind of want to see what Dan Reichert thinks of Armored Core 6. So let's go raid Dan. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I hope you have a great night. Come along on this raid. It should be weird and fun. I hope you have a great time. I will see you on the next one. Hey, on Saturday, we start a new month. So I pressed this button because this song is dead to me. You didn't use channel points for me to play the dance song, but I wanted to play it one more time. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye.